closest to the Mississippi River. Yes, the highest land in the city is the land closest to the Mississippi River. That is important to know, even though it may sound ironic. That is the case. The highest land is the land closest to the Mississippi River. That's where our oldest neighborhoods are. So, land being scarce, that was above ground to build neighborhoods, especially for working class neighborhoods, such as many houses and lots as well. That's why also every neighborhood is established a 4 block of green space. Jackson Square for the French Quarter, here in Chile, Washington Square for the very neighborhood. Now here on the top, we have a 4 block of owners of homes. Look at the size of some of the houses. Also take note of the side yard space of the houses. There is none. Look at this. Property lines. Same scenario on your right. Another block of all original homes. Take note also that all the houses are up to the sidewalk, because that's characteristic of Creole architecture. So we have these homes here in the Marion neighborhood with no side yards, no front yards, and for the most part, no backyards. I don't think anybody in this neighborhood owns a lawnmower. Now, here, all right, couple questions for everybody on board, just to show of hands. Who is on the bus for the first day? Okay, lots of y'all. Welcome, of course. Again, take your full loop, 18 stops, 90 minutes, 11 miles. Now, who is in New Orleans for the first time? All right, well, I'll find out later where everybody's from. I'm sure all over, maybe Michigan or Minnesota, where there's snow on the ground. On this visual sightseeing tour of this great city of New Orleans, there's 4 things that I do recommend everybody take notice of, especially for first-time visitors. Number 1 is our architecture. Absolutely amazing architecture across the entire city of New Orleans. Number 2 is our landscaping. Yes, we have a wet and warm climate, if you can't tell. I hope you can tell it's wet and warm today. So lots of vegetation, like for example this tree immediately to the left is a live oak tree, very common across the Gulf Coast. Number 3 would be our visual art all across the city, be it on private property, public land, art. Traditional statues, murals, abstract artwork as well. You may notice the city market on your left as far as the murals on that property that described as like a high-end food court. About a dozen restaurant tours under one roof, and seating inside as well. By the way, that is just like that format of a wide variety of cuisine and the variety like a food court, but much more upscale than that. That business is open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Anyway, and then the 4th thing to notice, which I talk about from time to time, is the unusual street names we have across the city. Many of the streets are named and represent people of local history, state and city history, so a lot of these street names you can see are going to be very foreign to you. There are other things to take notice, like our streetcars across the city. We have a line over here for religion for St. Claude Avenue, and go very much street, and also like a trumpet player painted on some next block we have Sweet Marines, and so mural I do like a lot. It is, of course, of Louis Armstrong, our famous native son. Louis Armstrong was his most recognized then St. Claude Avenue. In this curve, we now merge onto North Rampart Street. And with the new street emerged, North Rampart Street, a new neighborhood emerges here as well. Also, by the way, here in New Orleans, we are very much neighborhood focused, so you hear references to our different neighborhoods a lot on this presentation. So we have a new neighborhood here on your right, known as Bay, and Bay houses to support their families. And most of the citizens buying land in Treme here on the right were the free people of color. Therefore, Treme on the right is described as the nation's first and therefore oldest African American neighborhood. Now coming up here on your left, a part of our historic buildings, we have a 3-building complex of a Cuban restaurant known as the Havana Outpost, open daily from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And they have that outdoor canopy. Is a historic building built in the 1930s. There is a gas station with over the great barrel tile. It's a little unusual building, but which Cuban food is and here to your left, church and convent, now into this land. The Treme neighborhood on your right has its own stop as well, coming up in the next block. So, in Denmark, the Treme is 2 blocks away from this strong park. Show me this, please, spot number 4. Alright, looks like we're good here. Got an answer, so number 4. Every neighborhood was established with a full block of green space. Jackson Square for the French Quarter, Washington Square for the Marin neighborhood, and gave it to the Congo Square. So I mentioned our vegetation. We're going to go through a canopy of live oak trees. It's L-I-V-E. We're coming across the entire Gulf Coast, all around the coast as well. They keep their leaves year round when they grow. They don't grow up as most trees do. They grow up creating a canopy of shade. Very important in our summer heat where it is 100 degrees most days in July and August. So you want as much shade as possible. So now we are approaching our next stop, number 5, which is known as Basic Street Station. This happens to be the main up stop for Cityside Saying hop on, hop off bus, where our main ticket counter, including lost and found when, not if, but when things are left on the bus, because that happens daily, they're turned into our ticket counter over here, and across the lobby of this welcome center is another ticket counter offering tours of this cemetery. We're about to see the oldest cemetery in the city, known as St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, established by the Spanish in 1789. Because of its very fragile and historic status, no one can just wander in on your own, but you can go inside that historic cemetery with a licensed guide on a paid tour. Ticket counter inside, opposite corner from the bus ticket counter, required by availability, then you sell out the lot. So let's see how long this break is going to be. Unfortunately, only like a minute. Meaning the restrooms and drinks inside the gift shop. No one will really have time to go inside and explore, so you have 2 options. You can stay on board, continue on with the tour, or exit, take some time in this fantastic facility, because it also has a museum inside dedicated to the Southern Railroad, so there's lots of things to do, and you get to the next bus in about 25 minutes or so. So, or if you're getting off because you have a cemetery tour, can exit this time. Does anybody plan to exit at stop number 5? Show of hands, please. Okay. Looks like everybody's going to stay on board. I'm going to disappear for just a moment. I'll come right back. So y'all just hang out. We're not going to be here long. Mainly enough time to let our new guests get on board. But if you have time, you should explore this fine facility on its own before you leave the walls as well, especially since you're riding the bus, because there's lots of things to do. Like I said, there's a gift shop, things to drink, a museum inside as well, exhibit hall, free master publication, the literature, things to do.